I'm on the river, and this is where I come every day. It's been quite a while since I've been to the park. The river is where I get my solitude, and I'm so grateful for it. I have to choose my river activity every day because I can't fit much in the kayak. The choices include drumming, photography, and choosing a lens, and rock balancing. All these activities help me to connect deeply with nature on the river. And this is how I resource my life. And once again, I feel like Dorothy at the end of The Wizard of Oz when she realizes that she need not travel beyond her own yard for her heart's content. There's no place like home. This is my home, and it has been for 12 years. And if I stay, instead of wandering off, there's so much more to notice, connect with, and fall in love with. And it will help me to navigate this life. After all the wandering and fleeing and chasing, how wonderful it is to stay and appreciate what's already here, offering itself so freely. I'd love to go to Ithaca and visit my favorite waterfalls, or go to the New England Peace Pagoda and photograph pink water lilies. But everything is so different now. And that stops me from making day trips and overnight trips and even trips to the grocery store, because it's logistically more complicated. I have been going to the grocery store once a week, so it's not an impulsive thing. Instead, I just work with what I have and get creative, and there's something really satisfying about that. So that's how life is right now. There's more satisfaction in staying home and keeping it simple and working with what I've got and appreciating it. This morning, I paddled down to the spot I was at a couple days ago and had filmed with my phone camera the river flowing across a sunlit leaf. I was amazed that I hadn't noticed that effect before. But today it was different. I brought my real camera and my macro lens, and it was maybe a couple hours later in the morning, and the river wasn't as calm. So I didn't notice it before because the conditions have to be exactly right. And when they are, it's like a portal to amazement and awe. And you also have to be present. We miss so many portals because we are in our heads or otherwise distracted from the present moment. So I sat on this rocky part and waited until the wind calmed a bit, and then I began filming the leaves. And then I filmed the water, the patterns of it flowing. And then, because it's not possible to film the amazing firefly light show in the backyard, I filmed the sparkling sunlight on the water, which is what comes closest. There's been a different theme every week since the shutdown began in mid-March, and it's more than 3 months later. And the theme this week really seems to be that you don't know who to believe or trust, where to get your information, what's truth and what's not. It's really hard to discern that. So it feels like we're being pushed to go within and to get in touch with our own inner guidance system and what feels right. And I think this is a really good thing. And it's time to rely less on others for guidance and information, and to go more within, and to maybe take that information that you get from the outside and filter it through your own inner knowing, and see what you come up with, and to trust that. I think that's part of a great awakening process that we're going through right now, and I love being part of it. I love all the different ways in which I've been awakened over the past few months. So these times have been bringing up a lot of material for a lot of people, and definitely for me. There's been some personal stuff that I've been reckoning with and reconciling, and just finding more inner resources. It's been very amazing like that. For example, this morning I woke up from a dream that didn't feel so good. And so I did some energy work. And that's how it begins anyway. I notice where in my body I feel the energy, the intensity, and then I'll rest my hands there. And it's like a soothing blanket. It's very nurturing. And then I'll notice what's going on, what kind of emotion is there. And then I called on unconditional love. And love told me that what I want, I already have in abundance. And then I saw an image, a healing image. It was being at the ocean, and there were many other women also there, as far as the eye could see. We weren't near each other though. And each of us was dipping our heart in the ocean so the waves could wash over it. And we'd all been hurt, and it seemed that we had that in common. And I found what they were doing so beautiful, and took out my camera and started photographing them. They were doing what I was also doing, but they were so beautiful. And I wanted them to know that. And then we all stood along the edge of the water, holding hands and feeling our collective energy. We were stronger together. And then that energy in my body had dissipated. It had transformed. I felt peaceful. And I realized that what we're looking for was never lost. You just have to find your way back to it. It's still there, waiting for you to return. You have everything you need inside you, and the problem comes when you're looking outside for it. You don't have to walk around the shifting world so needy. Come back home to your resources. The deepest love is already inside you, but you've lost the path to it and have forgotten that it exists. So learn to notice you're lost and pause. In the space of a pause, you can find your way back home. And it might take some weed whacking, especially at first, because that path has become overgrown. And it's worth it to return. That is the practice. Do it again and again and again. Instead of regretting the forgetting, celebrate the noticing and pausing, the remembering that there is a path. That is how it reveals itself to you, and that is how you find your way back home.